In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the front sway bar bushings on this Nissan Pathfinder. Let's get started. Let's remove the wheel. Use a 21mm socket, take all 5 of your lug nuts off, and then take the wheel off. Now with the wheel off, you can see where the sway bar goes and attaches on the subframe. Right there is the front subframe to sway bar bracket bolt. Now to get to this, one of the easiest ways is to get a little short socket on a long ratchet through the front here. Try to break that free. There we go. Now the bracket on the front is slotted, so you only need to loosen it up. You do not need to remove the bolt. All right, I'm gonna leave that right there where it is. It's loose enough. Let's move to the rear bolt. From underneath the vehicle, you can see the backside of this sway bar bracket. Stick your 16mm socket on this and remove this bolt. This one is not slotted. This one does have to come all the way out. Alright, there we go. Looks like my rust penetrant worked. By the way, if you spray through this little hole, aim that way, you'll get the rust penetrant right on this bolt. And then there's another couple access holes for the other side that you can use to spray the other bolts. So now we should be able to lift this bracket up, and we may not be able to pull it out yet. Might have to do the other side at the same time. Yeah, so all right, I'm gonna go disconnect the other side bolts. Sometimes you can pry it, but it's not worth it. You do these in pairs anyway. So let's get the other side disconnected the same exact way, and we'll be right back here. All right, other side is unbolted the same exact way. Now, that's better. We can pull this right up and off of here. Get this bracket off. I'm just gonna pull the bracket down. That gives us a lot more space to work with. And the bushing should have a split in it. So let's find it. There it is. It's actually on the wrong side. You're supposed to have the split on the back, but here's your bushing. Remove the other side as well, and then we'll continue with installation. Now I want to clean the sway bar right where the bushing goes, so I can have a clean mounting surface for that bushing. If this is in poor condition, if it's rotted, well, you can reuse it, but the bushing will actually wear prematurely because it's abrasive now. It's not smooth anymore, and no matter how much you grease it, it's, well, not smooth. So every time it moves around, it actually rubs into that bushing, and well, friction will wear it out. It's rubber. So do the same to the other side, and then we'll apply some silicone paste. I like to use silicone paste because it's not damaging to rubber. If you have other grease that's good for rubber, you can use that too. But basically you want to grease it up so that this can slide as it turns. As you go over bumps, you want it to smoothly glide over the bushing. Now let's get some silicone paste on the sway bar, just a little bit. I have a lot more on my brush, so I'm going to put the rest right inside the bushing, and then I'll go back to the sway bar once I spread this all around here to spread it onto the bar itself. And like I said, the reason you want to do this is friction removal, basically, so it doesn't grind itself to pieces. It's impossible to put too much on this, because if you do, it's actually just going to squeeze out after you put the bushing on. So really, there's no way you can put too much. Take the bushing, the easiest way to do it. Now keep in mind the split has to face towards the rear. That way water and sand as you drive don't force their way into the bushing. Unlikely, but could happen. So what I'm going to do is lift up the sway bar, put it right on top of the bushing, try to open it up with my thumb, and press the bar down. Oh, that didn't work. Usually it basically slides right into the bar, or the bushing slides just like that. And there you go. Line it up, and let's get the brackets back on. Now take the bracket, slide it right over this bushing. You're gonna have to pull the sway bar and move it in different directions to actually make this all line up. But what you want to do now is the front will look like this, except slotted, so there won't be a piece of metal here, and just kind of hook it in like a fork underneath that bolt. Just like that. Once you've done that, you can start the bolt in. And this, at this point, we'll start pulling on the sway bar and seating it in place. That's normal. In order to make sure I have it properly tightened, since I can't get a torque wrench in here, I'm just going to use a long 1/2-inch ratchet. All right. Yeah, that's pretty tight. The fact that I'm pulling at an angle here with the swivel head is what makes it more difficult. Like I said, there's no way I can torque these, but the torque for them, all 4 of these bolts for the bushing brackets, is only 39 foot-pounds, so it's not extremely tight. Having said that, make sure the other side rear bolt is tightened, and then we'll move to the front one, the one that's slotted. Okay, let's tighten up this front one. All right, give it one more pull, and that should be plenty tight. Take your tool off of there and do the same to the other side, and you should be all set. Let's get the wheel back on. Let's get the wheel back on. Put on all 5 of your lug nuts, bottom them out, and torque them to 83 foot-pounds. .83 foot-pounds in a cross pattern. Double check it. And there you have it.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.